Hey, welcome to Tent Talk. This is the show all about farmers markets. Whether you're a farmers market manager, a farmer, or a food producer selling at farmers markets, or just a curious farmers market shopper, this is the podcast for you. Ever wonder how to keep momentum going at a year-round farmers market when the weather changes drastically from one season to the next? Our guest today talks about solutions to market temperature variances, how to bring the community together at your market with intention, working with volunteers and interns, and making it to the 15-year anniversary mark. Hey everyone, I'm one of your hosts, Bridget Myers. I help manage 3 weekly farmers markets here in San Diego, and I'm the education coordinator for Intense Business.
And I'm your other host, Justine Marzoni-Mead, farmers market vendor, hot sauce maker. And I am back after a couple weeks away.
We miss Justine. And now Kat is gone.
Now Kat's gallivanting across Europe.
Yeah.
Who knows what she's up to?
Who knows what she's doing? She's probably at a farmer's market right now.
Probably.
I'm sure she
Probably
is.
Lifting a barricade, a Euro barricade.
Are they lighter in Europe or heavier?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
they weigh them in kilos.
Kat is at the the Conference for Public Spaces in the UK. Well, she's there for the conference, but in between bebopping around and going to Paris where her dream markets are. So we'll think of Kat fondly as we record today. All right, well, welcome back to Tent Talk, everyone. On today's episode of Tent Talk, we're speaking with Sara Matlin, Market Manager of the Phoenix Public Market in Phoenix, Arizona, my hometown. Sara came on board as the first full-time market manager almost 5 years ago and has been going full steam ahead ever since, working together with the downtown Phoenix community to make local food more accessible and building a small big business incubator at the market. All right, well, thanks so much, Sara, for speaking with us. We're so excited to talk to you about your market. So can you just kind of give us a background about yourself and how you got involved as a farmers market manager and when you started at the Phoenix Public Market?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me on the show. And I'm actually from Phoenix, born and raised. So I've been working in marketing and events with small businesses, but, it's my community and I'm just really community involved and driven. So when I came onto the market about 4.5 years ago, it was the first time that the Phoenix Public Market was having a full-time manager. So it's just been really exciting over the last few years to really be able to bring that full-time energy. But the market itself has been going since 2005. So we're celebrating 15 years in February.
Congrats.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a long time for a market.
So I'm just a piece of that, beautiful story.
So you're the first manager that they had there. What did they do prior to you coming on?
No, there were other managers, but it was the first time that I was a full-time manager. So, of course, going from part-time to full-time, dedication definitely, brings a lot. As you guys know, a lot goes into markets.
Yeah, for sure. So did you have a background before that in any kind of in like food business or just kind of community? You said you were involved in some community gathering things, but was anything associated with were you in the restaurant industry or worked with farms at all, or just thought that it'd be nice to be organizing at this community event?
The opportunity kind of just opened up. I obviously had never really thought farmers market manager, didn't even really, that wasn't on my radar at all. I was not involved in local agriculture. So that has been a huge learning curve and also just such an amazing thing to really dive into. Like I said, since I'm from Phoenix and from Arizona and agriculture is such a big part of our state, it was just really surprising to me, all of the things that I didn't know or all of the misconceptions I had. So I had been working with small businesses and restaurants, and actually where we host our farmers market, there's a restaurant on site, the cafe at Phoenix Public Market. And so I had been working with the local chef and sometimes also the farmers market. So it was kind of a nice transition to be working just full time with the farmers market.
Yeah. So how does that work with the cafe? So there's a Phoenix, is it Phoenix Public Cafe? Is that what it's called?
It's the cafe at Phoenix Public Market. So it's kind of like Phoenix Public Market is that whole space that we share. That's separately operated and owned by local chef Aaron Chamberlain. He has some other great restaurants in our neighborhood and in Phoenix. Yeah. And then the farmers market side of Phoenix of Community Food Connections, which is a nonprofit organization.
Oh, okay. So the public market is a separate thing. I just think it's so unique. Like when I go, because I go to the Phoenix Public Market when I'm in town, and it's so unique that there's like a cafe and it's all part of it. And it just seems like one big connected space, which I think is cool. Because we all, at our markets, we have like neighboring cafes that people kind of duck into while they're shopping at the market. But I feel like the cafe at the Phoenix Public Market is really kind of integrated into the space. So it's pretty cool and unique.
Yeah, they moved into that space maybe 6 or 7 years ago already. And so the farmers market had already been going there. And so Chef Chamberlain really integrated that idea. He is passionate about local food and he has great relationships with different local vendors and farmers. So it really did make a lot of sense, obviously, coming to the site where the farmers market was. So yeah, we have a really great community and just cohesion there.
Yeah, that's so nice. So you guys have a nonprofit that is like the parent of the farmers market, right? So does that help you guys get like grants? Do you guys do like EBT? Like, can people use their, I don't know what it's called in Arizona, like their
SNAP
food stamp? Yeah, the SNAP there at the market.
Yeah, so being a nonprofit farmers market, actually, we're one of the only nonprofit farmers markets in Phoenix. Yeah. And, a lot of times people are wondering, how does that shape the farmers market? What does that really mean? And really, it's kind of helped us stay mission driven. And, the mission in 2005, when Community Food Connections was launched, was really focusing on supporting local agriculture. So how can we connect rural farmers with urban center, being right in downtown Phoenix? How can we create greater access to healthy, fresh foods? Because actually downtown Phoenix was considered a food desert. Yeah. So this kind of relationship and platform formed for a farmers market. And so the nonprofit organization has always focused on really supporting our local food system, especially our local growers. And through the years has really become a business incubator. So just that support of the local community and creating greater access has driven it to have programs and support programs like, yes, shoppers can come and they can use their EBT cards and their SNAP benefits. And actually, we participate in a wonderful program that's been brought to Arizona, Double Up Food Bucks Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Double Up is a program that we can actually match up to $20 for fresh fruits and veggies, anybody shopping with their EBT card every week.
Wow. Oh, nice. Yeah, we have a program. It's called Market Match here, so we match up to 10. But yeah, similar program. So it's so great. Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. And we're always focusing on different projects to create that greater access, to break down those barriers, to really bring healthy foods into people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like you guys do a really good job of like connecting those two things, like supporting food access and then also providing this really great market in your neighborhood there. And you guys have a lot of activities going on at the market. I saw on your calendar like different classes there and things like that. So do you guys keep that up continuously throughout the year, kind of different activities and things to do at the market, as well as having the vendors and the farmers there?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a major part of what we like to bring to the market and to the community is that idea of workshops and education and again, that like community partnerships. So we partner with all sorts of different other nonprofits and organizations, businesses that can come to the market and do different demonstrations or, like I said, workshops. So our shoppers are always, loving to go to the different kind of harvesting workshops. How to harvest mesquite actually is coming up this next month. Following that, we're going to have a prickly pear festival and be of celebrating harvesting prickly pear with another workshop. This weekend, we have a wellness workshop focused on utilizing dandelions. And so, it's kind of that variety of gardening and wellness and, home how-tos and things like that are really, what our community has been looking for and what they support. So we're kind of just there to bring it all together.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So your market is year-round, right?
We're a year-round market. We always have been. So we stay outdoors through the summer and we're open every Saturday morning right in downtown Phoenix. It kind of helps with that consistency aspect.
That's incredible. I mean, we're babies out here in San Diego. If it's 82 or if it's like 60,
Yeah.
We just had
We can't. We should.
I know that
Okay.
like zonies are a little bit more committed or like they can handle
Yes.
it. But how do you keep your market going when it's crazy hot outside?
120 degrees.
What do you do? Do you shift the closing time? Do you push it earlier? Or are people used to it?
Yeah, we really try and stay consistent. So we don't push our market earlier. We do end an hour earlier, but that seems very natural. So we go 8 to noon in our summer season. But really, like you said, zonies are dedicated. Like we live in the heat, we handle it. And, again, we're all still living here in the summer. The morning is really the only time to get outdoors. And then, we still have our local growers are still growing and our small businesses are still open. So, we somehow we've all signed on to live here and, it doesn't bother us that much. So our market really stays open because people come and shop, right? So we have shoppers that are still coming and we make it a very comfortable experience where, we have 15 years of, shade coverings and putting umbrellas up. And we actually have even installed mister systems into our carports.
Oh, great.
And so we have a bunch of different ways that we stay cool and stay shaded. And like I said, the summer in the morning, that's the only time to be outside.
Yeah.
Wait, so it sounds like probably a lot of people that are coming to your markets are likely driving. What do you do for parking?
We really see a mix as we're seeing downtown develop more and more with more residents living right within our block there. More people are walking over, biking over. And so obviously we love to see that being right in downtown Phoenix. But also there is parking still. We have actually multiple free lots right around us, a giant pay to park lot near us. So downtown Phoenix hasn't become too bad with parking yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good. One of the markets that San Diego Markets operates is Little Italy. And in the last year or so, there's been this big redevelopment of this piazza and it's really beautiful. But it's become so busy that a lot of locals just have a hard time going because they know it's just crazy down there on a busy Saturday morning.
I know. I don't know where all the people park. Like when I see a busy market and I don't see a lot of parking around, it's like obviously they got there somehow.
It's the scooters.
It's the scooters.
I mean, I have to say obviously whenever I go on vacation anywhere, finding the farmer's market is part of my agenda, but I'll park and walk or, I'll walk far for a farmer's market. So
that's true. I mean, I feel like farmer's market people are like, they're into it.
But if it's a Phoenix summer day and it's 104 out.
Our shoppers are dedicated. We have a dedicated community. They come.
That's great.
I feel like we talked to a farmer's market manager in Seattle, and I was like, what do you do with all that rain? And she's like, yeah, it just rains. It's not a big deal. Like, we're such sissies, I think.
It's kind of, I guess it's Arizona, right? It's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of which, what's the growing season like in Arizona? I know, again, although in San Diego, we're babies with the weather, but we have this incredible growing season where things are just growing all year long. And our shoppers might be babies, but our farmers are like powerhouses that are like working all year. What is it like for your growers out there?
Yeah, I mean, talking about summer produce, this is when we're seeing some of our favorite summer produce, summer fruits, peaches, figs, pomegranates are coming up. And like I said, prickly pear. So the summer, actually, we see a ton of produce and really all year round, we see a ton of produce, with the sunshine. And as I said, Arizona agriculture has been such a mainstay here, right? Such a major industry and part of what Arizona has been about. And so we have great sunshine and our growers have all sorts of different techniques for, handling heat and growing in, different conditions. And like I said earlier, that's been one of the most fun parts about my job is just really discovering all of those things and different ways that our growers grow. And so, we have a great season. I would say maybe end of fall, we're starting to get creative with what we can do with okra and summer squash and, and kind of those late summer produce that, we've just been eating for months and months at a certain point. And so actually this year I want to do a recipe swap and kind of exchange ideas for what we can do with some of those late summer fall produce items.
That's a good idea if you get stuck in like a crop rut where it's like, you know, it just seems like the same thing over and over. We have a couple months like that where it's just like, okay, like not a lot of new things are coming up. That's a good idea. Like get some feedback from your shoppers, like recipes and from the farmers to say, what do you do with this now? And so it could taste different, even though it's the same crop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that I'm always just personally like stopping shoppers who I see buying bags of okra or something and asking them.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Because that's how I've really learned. So I'm excited to be able to share those recipes and get some ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Do your farmers do a lot of hoop house growing out there? Do you know, or are they doing indoor like microgreens indoors or anything? Or are they just out in the fields all year round?
We have such a variety of different growing techniques. That's what really surprised me when I was learning all about our different growers specifically. So we have about 15 different growers that come to our market, and some of them are growing traditionally outdoors, and some of them are growing indoors all year. So we have Abbey Lee Farms, and they grow tomatoes year round indoors. But then we have other farmers that do a combination, Steadfast Farm, working outdoors, one of our organic farmers, but then also growing things indoors. So really we see that whole variety.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
And our growers are always trying to bring unique things to the market to keep themselves, competitive. And so they're always experimenting with different ways to bring variety and that kind of thing.
Nice.
Great. What do you have? I know in California it's different because we have like certified California markets where it has to be like separated. On one side are the certified farmers and they have to, grow what they sell. And then we have on the other side all of the prepared foods or hot foods. I know Arizona tends to be a little bit more lax in terms of regulations. What is that like? Do you have to separate your certified farmers from your other vendors, or can you just have them kind of mixed in with each other?
We can have them mixed in with each other. We don't have any specific rules on that. And like you said, Arizona it's different than other states. And, right now, actually, I'm in dialogue with other farmers market managers from all over Arizona, Ajo and Flagstaff and here in Phoenix. And, we're really trying to figure out how, although we run separate markets, how we can really work together to bring some of those ideas about transparency about the growers and different certifications and just helping kind of with that education component for the consumer. Mm-hmm. So we're looking into, what can we maybe cohesively bring together in terms of an Arizona grown label or some sort of identification. And then also there's really some great movements in Phoenix and in Maricopa County and in Arizona to be working towards also that transparency about food safety certifications and getting more of our growers to have certain certifications. And then on the other side, educating consumers about what that means so that they can make fully, knowledgeable decisions about the produce that they're choosing to buy.
Yeah. Cool. Can your farmers or other vendors resell produce at the market that's not grown in Arizona then, so you can have a mix?
Yeah. So in our rules and regulations, we do allow growers to supplement a certain percentage of produce, but we just require that it needs to be labeled and also it needs to come from a small farm. So we have our growers, some of our growers only bring what they grow, but we also do have some growers that are able to like glean from neighbors' yards and things like that, and they're able to supplement what they grow. And and like I said, we ask them to label it, and that way, again, just trying to create more transparency.
Yeah, like clear choice, just so the consumers know. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have like a Dole sticker on
it. Exactly. Yes.
Can your like bread vendor and like people who are making food, can they make their food at home and sell it at the farmer's market?
In Maricopa County with food laws, bakers, there's a cottage law. And so again, there's certain stipulations that go along with that, of course, in terms of like labeling, what ingredients can be used, but people can be home bakers.
Yeah.
And actually that's been really great to see, because I've been able to see a lot of entrepreneurs or new businesses launch that way, and they introduce products where that's where they can start until they're able to build up their business, and then maybe they want to begin doing other things, introducing other products, and that's when they're able to kind of transition into new health permits and work out of a commercial kitchen to do those things. So that's been really nice to see as a way to support new businesses and smaller operations.
Yeah, we have a version of that. It's just a little restrictive here, but I know it's a great way for people to get started because it's like not as much overhead at first, and then they can kind of roll and scale their business up. So
yeah, and we've really seen that be successful and work. So that's always exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. So we know that you also have set up some really interesting waste conscious programs at your market. We're curious if you could share with our listeners what those are and how you got those set up and maybe some of the shoppers' reactions to those programs you've implemented.
Yeah, so like I said, just because our state might not have certain regulations or things like that in terms of sustainability, we are still trying to drive that forward in our community, and our community wants that and also is helping drive forward a lot of those sustainability initiatives. And so our market focuses a lot on, very different aspects of sustainability. Obviously, a farmer's market in itself is a sustainable practice in a community, but we're really focusing on projects that are reducing our waste. So that's a huge conversation that's going on now. It's a really important thing for us all to consider, our plastic use, driving versus, riding a bike, all of these things that can really lower our impact on our environment and really reduce our waste. So, that's everything at our market from working. I have an Arizona State University internship that's focused around sustainability at our market. My intern right now is really working on our just sorting waste and really getting the community to sort waste, because that's not something that is, implemented in Arizona. And so for a lot of people, of course, they're on board and they know exactly what to do and what goes in which bin. But for a lot of people also, it's a great introduction to how you can sort waste. And then we can kind of also divert them into some other opportunities, like working with one of our vendors, Recycled City, to compost at home. It's a composting service. And so that's a great program that, really we're trying to just, introduce people to it and then also support people who are already doing that. And then the same thing, we're doing that with plastic bags. We're encouraging our vendors not to bring new plastic bags, and we're encouraging our shoppers to bring their used grocery bags. And then we have bins around our market that shoppers and vendors can take, plastic grocery bags and reuse them. We always also take collections of canvas bags and share those with shoppers. So again, trying to kind of recycle, reuse plastic bags in our community. And then all sorts of other programs. We do neighborhood cleanups. This weekend, we're doing a clothing drive. So clean out your closets and bring them to the market. So yeah, so we're always kind of focused, though, really about reducing our waste impact.
That's awesome. And that sounds like it takes a lot of work, though. So you mentioned that you were the first full-time market manager. What is your staff like, or do you have supplemental help or volunteers that you pull in to assist you in all these amazing things that you're doing every week?
Yes, so we are a small operation. I have some help. Obviously, Saturdays at the market, I have a setup crew who is crucial to the market and to our team. So they're fantastic, and they kind of help, like I said, with setup and breakdown of our market. And then actually right now, we just published today, we're hiring a market manager to join me and create a team so that we can just keep expanding a lot of the operations and programs that we do. So people can check that out online. And
then, where can they find it?
Yeah, it's on our website. We posted it on our website, phxpublicmarket.com.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then also we've posted on our social media channels, so people can find it there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
That's gonna help
volunteers
you. Yeah.
obviously are a crucial part of our market. So volunteers are really part of our market family. We have tons of volunteers who come regularly, who have even been coming for years now. And then we get new volunteers all the time who are just coming to explore the market and help out. So volunteers are really what's driving our market operations on Saturdays, allowing us to have all of those programs and workshops, cooking demos, our kids' craft station. We plug volunteers all over our market to help run those programs.
Yeah, when I was just there a few months ago, there was like the nicest volunteer. He was kind of standing at the entryway and he was like, "Hey, welcome." It just makes such a difference. I feel like when someone's there, like, "Welcome to the market," and he's like, "What can I help you find? Like, how's it going? I like your shirt." It was just nice. I just feel like that just makes a difference in a market. If you can have those kind of people kind of walking around and being like a little welcome wagon at the market, it just makes it feel like more at home for the shoppers. So.
Absolutely. And a lot of times our volunteers, again, can really help create that greater access to, even once they're at the market, helping to break down some of the barriers of how they shop, where they can shop with certain, benefits and things like that. So like I said, our volunteers are really an important part of how we run things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of all the questions I think we had, but did you have anything else you wanted to kind of share about your market? You guys just run such a nice tight ship over there and doing some really great things at the market. And I know our market manager kind of circle with Intense is just always like looking for new ideas of new cool things to do at the market.
Well, we're excited to be celebrating 15 years, like I said. So we're actually in this kind of upswing for our market and for our organization, where we're growing our operations and our capacity. And that's really reflecting kind of the growth that's happening in downtown Phoenix right now and in our surrounding neighborhoods. So like I said, we're bringing on this other team member, and we're going to actually even do like a brand refresh. And we're just really going to have fun with celebrating 15 years and kind of establishing what the next 15 years can look like and what else our organization, Community Food Connections, can really be doing in our community. And again, really focusing on our local growers and small farms, our small businesses, because, that is crucial to having a sustainable community. And that's what we've always been focused on. So it's exciting to be with the market and with the organization during this time where we're really looking at what else can we be doing and kind of growing that. So
yeah,
that's great.
That's so nice.
I think I'm curious how you're rebranding, or I know San Diego Markets went through that a couple years ago, and just some simple stuff changing from San Diego Weekly Markets to San Diego Markets. Yeah. And I don't know, Bridget, if that was difficult or that how you had to strategically do that without losing people or confusing people.
Yeah, it was good. Like, it was time for us to do that. We did that around our 9-year anniversary at our original market, but it was just time to kind of refresh and rebrand, and it ended up being really great, and I'm glad that we did it. But I know kind of going through that process, it was like, wait, what are you now? And are you doing a market on a different day or whatever? So we had to kind of reiterate a lot of things. So I don't know if how much you guys are changing or rebranding, but yeah, it was good. It ended up being a really good thing for the company, I think. And so it was just, our name was a little bit confusing before, and it was really long. And so it was nice to just kind of streamline everything.
Yeah, we're working with a great branding agency here in town, some locals. And so they're really steering us on this great path where we're going to engage our customers and our vendors and, our stakeholders in what is our brand? What do people even identify, like Phoenix Public Market, the open air market at Phoenix Public Market? What do they call it? What are the things that they love about the market? What are, really kind of diving into like who our market community is and what the market is to them, and then creating our brand kind of focused on that. So I'm excited. Of course, it'll always be, we're going to have to get the word out there. We're going to have to share it. But, I think like you were saying, I think it will be ultimately a great thing. We're going to update our website. So it's a kind of the perfect time to do it. I'm excited for this project.
Yeah, it's always nice, like around an anniversary, but
yeah,
it's good. And
you perfect excuse.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of tell those markets that intentionally, or like they're very intentional about like, this is the community that we're serving and this is why we've kind of integrated these things in our market, instead of like we just plopped our idea in the middle of this neighborhood. So it's, I think it makes a big difference. So
well, and really, that's what's made the market grow from, we had 12 vendors on our first market in 2005.
Oh, wow.
So now we have anywhere between 75 and 100 vendors every Saturday morning. So, and that's really just the community coming out and supporting it. And, like I said, with our workshops and with even the vendors that we have at the market, and it's really driven by the people who come and shop there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Phoenix Market was my dad's market. My dad used to live in Phoenix, and he worked
I
at.
love that.
Yeah, he worked with the Phoenix police, so he would get off of his job sometimes at like 8 a.m. on Saturday. He's like, I'm just gonna stop by the market.
Get a donut.
That's great.
Get a donut. Never. He'd get his fresh produce.
There's great donuts there too. Nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
Such a great variety of local foods.
I know. So you got to balance. It's all about balance, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we always kind of wrap up with the question of the week. So I think since we're kind of, we're shifting the seasons. I don't know. It's probably felt like summer for a little bit in Arizona. I know it kind of starts a little early there, but what are your favorite summer market crops that you're excited for? I know you were mentioning some earlier, but what's something that you usually buy when you're at the market in the summertime, and kind of what do you do with that? So I'll give you a minute to think about that, Sarah. I'll go, Justine, what do you do? What are you excited about right now?
I'm really excited about corn.
Oh, corn is great.
It's so great.
So
and
good.
it's like one of those things that you just can't really buy the grocery. I mean, you can go to the grocery store, but you open up the husk and it's just like kind of weird.
Yeah.
But if you get it from the farmer's market, it's just like so fresh. You can eat it without cooking it. Sweet. And there's nothing like it.
Yeah, there's nothing like that farmer's market.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah, what are you getting at the market in the summertime?
Melon. I've been focused on all the summer fruits, and really in melon season is just amazing. The honeydew, the cantaloupe, the different varieties of melons that, little cucumber melons and obviously watermelon. So we get months and months of just this extremely sweet kind of melt in your mouth melon at the market. So that's always such a treat.
Do you guys have melon already, or is that coming up?
We don't have melon yet. No. Okay. So it's almost like the treat once the heat really hits,
Yeah. I know you guys get summer things a little bit earlier than we do. Like sometimes if I'm going back and forth to Phoenix, I'm like, oh, I got corn early, or I got melon early. Yeah. So we're still waiting for it too, but the melon is so good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I always try to think of I think I like all the summer crops that come out, but I'm really excited about cherries this year. They just started hitting the tables, and they're so good. And like my kids are old enough now where I can just like throw them in I don't have to like pit them first.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's such a milestone. You can just give them a cherry and they can spit the pit out. You don't have to do like
the mama bird thing where you like pit for them and like.
It's such like I'm like, oh my gosh, my life is so much easier right now. So yeah, we all just kind of like sit down and snack on cherries. It's kind of dangerous because we'll eat like a whole bag and they're kind of expensive, but it's totally worth it.
It's that like also that great thing about shopping at a farmer's market, right? We were like looking forward to a produce, so that's what's so fun is that like, oh, enjoying peaches right now. Like I have been eating my heart out of peaches, and then, and it'll just go from produce to produce. And that's always a treat. And then seeing kind of the other products that pop up in the market, somebody doing a peach jam and then a peach pastry and even, peach salsa and kind of seeing how that like influences also like the market vendors.
The other vendors. Yeah. You guys, do you guys, I was just reading about something. Do you still do the program where it's like if your food vendors use local produce, you give them like a little like sticker or something? Like if they use 50% like local grown goods. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, again, it's just like trying to create that transparency for shoppers and celebrate our vendors who, just like talking about farmers and local produce from farmers, all of our food vendors, we really encourage. And so many of them really are sourcing their ingredients locally. So we like to celebrate that. And we give different vendors, local badges to let people know that that they're utilizing 50% or more local ingredients. So from the pretzels that are using, local butter, local flour, local salts, we want to celebrate that, and we want shoppers to know. So we've kind of developed, again, our own little badge system.
Yeah, that's awesome. So great. It's just a nice little, kind of brings it more home and just shows that you guys are paying attention. I like that.
And, it's been fun to see how actually it's really encouraged vendors to I'm going to start using eggs from them. And just, sometimes, let's be real, small businesses, they wear so many hats. And so a lot of times, just when we talk to our vendors about things like not using new plastic bags, they're easy changes that all of our small businesses are on board for. And so that's kind of the nice thing is we can, bring some of those programs to their attention and kind of make those things a reality. So that's always fun.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Sarah, for taking the time to talk with us.
To talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on and chatting. And I was glad that you were able to come to the market after the conference. I had so much fun at Intense. And actually, I've even been in touch with some of the market managers that I've met there, asking questions. It's always great to create that network and be able to, like you said, share ideas. And so.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
So happy.
We're like, yay, it's working.
Yeah, it's great.
We hope that you'll come back for.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be there next year.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be in Phoenix in a couple weeks, so I'll come see you.
Perfect. Always there. You can find us.
Yeah. All right, Sarah. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening today. Please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are listening to Tent Talk. And be sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss the next episode. And if you want more farmers market tips, tricks, and information, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter at intensebusiness.com. Remember, that's INTENTS business.com. And follow us on social media at Intense Business. Watch for upcoming Intense events, both live and online, and stay tuned for Save the Dates coming very soon for the 2020 Intense Conference. And we'd love to see all of you there live and in person.
This podcast is produced by Intense Business, where passion meets profit. Today's episode was recorded and edited by Justine Marzoni Mead. Original music by David Mead. Special thanks to our guests Sara Matlin and San Diego Markets.